Hello ladies. My name is Rebecca, and today I'm answering questions that I got from you guys. We're going to answer one question today, which was, where does my pop highlight and brightening highlight go? What are the differences? And also, where does my illuminator go? So those are really good questions. Let's answer them and get right to it. So I'm going to go ahead and just throw on my main face real quick. That way, that's all the way. And we're going to kind of, hey Kristen, and we're going to kind of talk about where the pop highlight goes and the illuminator goes once we get to that point. I've got my palette here. This is my pop highlight right here and my brightening highlight. So notice I have 3 foundations. Most people, I recommend 3, but there's a few where you may have just got 2. And that's where the 2 brightenings come from. So I'm just gonna do my makeup. We'll discuss that here. If you have questions that you would like me to answer in the future videos, just put them below. Or if it's something that you may be embarrassed to ask, which never be embarrassed to ask. If you have that question, I'm sure someone else does too, I promise you. But if you are a little shy or embarrassed, which I get that, I promise, just message me and I will answer it for you, or I'll go live and show you. And I'll keep it a secret, so you don't have to worry about that. I won't call you out or anything, I promise. But I would rather you ask and find out than not know and give up. So let me tell you my story real quick of reason I love helping you. In the beginning, when I first got the makeup remember, I didn't wear makeup really before this makeup. So I opened this and I was overwhelmed as overwhelmed gets. I was like, I watched this a million times, but to do it now in person in real life on myself is overwhelming. I don't know what's what. I don't know where anything goes. The girl I bought it from was just some random girl online. I didn't know her, which maybe is the case with some of you guys and me. So I was like, I don't want to bother her. I will just learn on my own. Or some people, if you're the personality, some people are just like, I'm not even gonna try, forget it. I'm not even gonna start. And I don't want you not to be like that. Please don't be like that. But anyway, so the first time I put it on, I liked it, but I didn't love it. I was a tad disappointed. And I'll tell you what though, it's because I was doing it wrong. I didn't know what I was doing, and I really wasn't prepping my skin either. I hadn't exfoliated ever in my entire life probably. And so I had lots of dry skin. My skin wasn't moisturized, but I also just didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know where to put the colors. I just put them on how it looked like people were putting it on when I watched their videos. And I didn't know what I was doing. So I finally reached out to her. I said, listen, I can't get mine to look like yours. And she helped me know what goes where. And we fixed it and literally changed the game, y'all. It changed the game. If I wouldn't have reached out to her and asked her for help, I was to the point where I was like, this just isn't as good as I thought. I thought, I was skeptical already. I should have known better. I almost set it to the side. I said, you know what? Because I'm cheap, I'm not going to waste my money. I'm at least going to ask her what the deal is. And good thing I did. She helped me. I love it. And here we are 3 or 4 years later. So please let me know if that's you right now, because I want to help you. Anyways, that's my contour. I'm going to move in with my main foundation. So I know Violet here didn't ask about the main foundation, so I'm just going to go right in and put it on real fast. I put my main foundation color on the darkest points of my face. So basically where that redness is on my cheek. This is where I get kind of, because I never want to confuse you, but some of you do have 3 and some don't. So if you have 3, this darker color right here, which is what I call my main color, it's going to go where your redness is and where the darkest areas of your face are. But I also kind of call it my main color because it gives me the best coverage. It's a tad bit darker than my skin tone, and it just gives me the best coverage. Because if you guys remember from my video last week, what gives you guys the best coverage? 1 shade darker, right? So 1 shade darker, then your skin tone will give you a really good coverage because it's going to cover everything up. So I take my 1 shade darker, very close to my skin tone, and I just take that where I want good coverage, which is basically everywhere I didn't put contour. All right? All right. I'm going to slap this on real quick everywhere. And make sure I've got it. I'm not worried about blending it right now, so don't worry about it looking like crazy. I'll get to that in a second. Now notice under my eyes, I've not put anything directly under my eyes yet. And I haven't put anything right here. So there, like I'm leaving those spots blank intentionally because those spots are not really dark. Like this part right here is really light on my face. So All right, so that's kind of got me covered there. Let me make sure everything's good. I like to go over my cheeks because they're really red, just naturally, just to make sure they're covered. Okay, so this is where your question comes into play, Miss Violet. The brightening highlight and the pop highlight. If you don't have 3, this really doesn't apply to you. I do recommend you get 3 though. If you only have 2, get 1 more, and let me tell you why. Especially with summer coming. These 3 colors will be my foundation colors all year long, summer and winter. Because summer's coming, I'm going to start using more of this darker color as I get darker, like I just did right now. And then as I start to lighten up come summer or come winter, I will kind of come over here and use these 2 more. And I kind of mix. So these 3 colors all year long are perfect for me. I may have to mix these 2 in the like transition seasons, and I may have to come mix these 2 come the transition of winter and summer. But no matter what, these 3, a mix, are perfect for me all year long. So I like that because I can literally, these will be my colors all year long. So it's like my, you never have to worry about anything. All right, anyways, off my soapbox. So the brightening highlight will be like it just goes on the areas of your face where you're lighter. So T-zone area right here, under your eyes. I like to put some right here, and then down the center of my nose. All right, so let's do that real quick. If you have mature skin, remember less is more, especially under your eyes. So I'm just going to tap that under my eyes here, kind of spreading it out, and we're going to work it going up. I'm going to show you something I'm going to show you something here. Okay, so the color I just used was just a tad bit lighter, and it looks nice. It's good. And remember, it's not blended, so keep that. I haven't blended anything, but just look at the colors. Like, it's just a nice, natural transition. Like, main color, like, it just transitions nicely. It looks nice. There's no fine lines or wrinkles. Now, if you like that pop of brightness under your eyes to wake you up, then what you can do is still use your middle skin tone color, but use it directly under your eye only, just where that dark spot is, to cover up the darkness under your eye if you have dark circles like me. But then move to this very dark, or this very light, bright pop of brightness. All right, just a few little taps. And what this does is it kind of brightens it up. I don't want to say like dramatically, but it just gives it that pop of brightness, like wow. All right, so do you guys see the difference? Over here is as if I just used a lot of people only have 2, a dark and a light, and that's this side. It is lighter under my eye. It is very pretty, and it does look good. But over here, I used my dark as my main color foundation, my brightener to brighten under my eye, but I use this to give it that pop of brightness just on the corners. So it's really, what do you want? Because I'll be honest, some people straight up say, I don't want my under eye to be very bright. I don't want it to be like much lighter. I want it to look natural, and people don't like this sometimes. So if you don't like that, you don't need this pop of brightness right here, this pop lighter color, unless you just want it to transition from, like I was mentioning earlier, you can use this to transition from summer to winter. But now let me blend it out here, and I will show you how it looks blended out. Now keep in mind, I have no blush, no bronzer, or anything like that, but we'll just blend it all out here, kind of marry those colors together. And do you guys see it? It's just like it lifts everything and it brightens everything up. So this over here is natural, it's nice, it's pretty, but we didn't add any pop of brightness over here. We just did the natural, normal look. Like, this is the basic look over here. Like I said, still very pretty. Right there, just still very pretty, but over here it's like bright, pow. One last thing, not everyone can get away with a super, super bright under eye. Like, if you have lots of fine lines and wrinkles under your eyes, going too bright or too light will enhance those wrinkles with any makeup. Like, if you were to use a super white, light powder under your eye, it's just going to enhance those fine lines and wrinkles, because light attracts, and we don't want anything to be attracted to our wrinkles. Okay, also, going to use your brightening highlight in the middle here. It just kind of brightens everything up, giving you that 3D look. Now, between your contour lines down your nose, this is optional. You can use your brightening highlight or your pop highlight. It really just depends. You'll find if you have a lot of like big pores on your nose, which a lot of people have, you don't want to use this bright pop highlight because there again, like your lines and wrinkles, too bright of a color will enhance that. So you may want to use your brightening highlight, that middle color, and just take it down the center. And to be honest, I kind of, you know, I mix it up. Some days I use the bright color, some days I don't. I really am very sporadic. All right. And then I also like to use the brightening highlight. I do a little dab right there, a little dab right there. There again, I just like to brighten up the center of my face. Was that clear? I feel like that was clear because there's so many like, well, do this, don't do that, and not everyone has 3. So some of you who only have 2, may be like, what are you even talking about? But I like to have 3 colors because it gives you a lot of wiggle room. All right. And then illuminator. She asked about illuminator, which is a very good question because I don't explain this much because a lot of people don't get it because it is optional. It's just like a fun extra add-on. Let me blend all this together and then I'll show you the illuminator. So I just kind of tap and buff. Marry all those colors together. I didn't put any bright color over here, so let me make it match the side over here real quick. Just a little bit is all you need. My daughter is having her like little kindergarten, I say graduation, it's like a picnic is what they're calling it. But it's basically like a kindergarten graduation this morning. Well, at lunchtime. So I'm getting ready for that. Hey, Amy and Tammy, and hope you guys are having a great day. It's so pretty here. It was supposed to rain, so I really don't know what's going on. Does anyone know what's going on with the weather ever? I don't think so. Let me look in my mirror here because I can never tell what I look like. Okay, I'm gonna put bronzer on real quick and then we'll do illuminator. I just like to grab my big fluffy blush and bronzer brush, kind of pounce it in that bronzer there. This is another question I get a lot is where's my bronzer go? So it goes on the high points of your face. So the top corner of your forehead, and then I like to put on the tops of my cheeks just because that's where the sun would naturally hit you. And you can always start off really light if you're nervous about it. Like that's pretty light right there. But do you see how it just like warms everything up? To me, it just completes the look. I think everyone should wear bronzer. I love Bella bronzer for everyone. When they came out with the other shades, I still just recommend Bella for everyone because it's beautiful even on the more lighter skin tones. It's pretty on the tan skin tones. And it's one of those things you can build up if you are darker, but you can also put it on really light if you are lighter. Bella is just the perfect color bronzer. Okay. So there's the bronzer, and then I like to take whatever's left. You can go down my neck, just so everything's nice and blended and matchy. All right. And then let's show you the illuminator real quick. Let me fix those brows. I need to fill them in anyway in a second. All right, so with the illuminator, I have mine right here. It is called Photoshop. I always second guess myself. Yeah, Photoshop. All right, so what you're gonna do, which we have cream illuminators too, but I think you, Miss Violet, I think you have powder. I think you have a powder and a cream, if I'm not mistaken. But where it's gonna go is also the high points of your face. Think about when the sun's coming down on you, what is looking glowy. So like the tops of your cheekbones typically are kind of like glowy. The top of your nose right here will be a little glowy. And then some people like to put it on their brow bone and even a little bit right here just to illuminate those areas. And if you have like a lower cut shirt or dress on, even on your collarbone is really pretty. So I'll tap a little bit of this illuminator here. And I like to just dust it on the tops of my cheekbones And when I turn my head here in a second, you'll see. Tip of my nose. I'll flip to the smaller end to do it here. It just kind of illuminates everything. And let me go ahead and do my brow bone just for fun. Even though I guess I should put eyeshadow on first. Okay. So do you see that, just how that catches the light on the top of my cheekbone? So that's where your illuminator will go. And that's Photoshop. It's so pretty. And there you go. That's where you put those. So the pop highlight basically is just a super light, bright color that gives you a pop of brightness. Most people will put it on the corners of their eyes. And then the brightening highlight, which is just a smidge brighter, it will go T-zone. It'll go right here, and then directly under your eyes. It can go there as well. The pop just kind of pops. It just gives you a pop of brightness where you need it. A lot of people will also use that pop highlight, the lighter color, as like a primer for their eyeshadow on their eyelids. So I like always having a 2-for-1 deal in there. I'm gonna talk real quick as well, because summer's coming, how to set your makeup come summer. So there is a setting powder that fits right into your compact. Of course, if you have a powder that you use already, you could definitely just use that as well. This is just convenient because it fits right in there. It's a pressed powder, and then you just take your brush, press it in your powder, and then press that powder wherever you want to set it with that powder. And then throughout the day, if you get sweaty or oily, you can just open your palette and put some more powder on, touch those areas up. Or we do have a setting spray. Now the setting spray from our line from Saint is a dewy finish, which I do love. However, if you're in a humid climate like I am, so come midsummer, I won't use this. I'll use the powder because I don't want a dewy finish on top of already being dewy from the sweat and humidity where I live. So this is really good. I love in the wintertime because it is a dewy finish. It gives you just that glowy, moisturized looking skin, especially come winter. Now, Charlotte Tilbury setting spray is my favorite setting spray. It is a matte finish, which means not shiny or dewy. And if you want a setting spray, get it for the summer because it's not a dewy finish. Does that make sense? It just goes on and keeps everything great. It is a little pricey, but it lasts and works really, really well. So, and you get it from like Ulta, Sephora, wherever. Or you just get our powder. Our powder is very nice too. And you'll just set your face with the powder and go about your day. But that is it, guys. If you have questions, put them in the comments or message me. I will go live and show you them later this week or just as the days go on. So hope you guys have I didn't put any blush on. I was like, wait a minute, something's missing. I have no blush. But I think I'll put that on as we go out the door because we gotta go see my daughter. All right, have a good day, y'all.